We have our cemetery, we have our gear, we're all set up, everything we need to go. What do we do next? Well, we need to make a survey of the cemetery, just a basic survey to get an idea how to orient ourselves and to find out, in general, just exactly what's here. This is going to be important because we can't format any research questions unless we have a basic understanding of the data that we have available to us. So I have my map, my grid map, which I printed off, and I have my compass so I know where north is, and using the road out here, I have located exactly where I am standing on my map. Now this is important because we are going to go basically around the cemetery and we're going to sort of collect data. Just general data to get an idea of what is basically where. If you take a look over here, we have some fairly new headstones. The first one I'm looking at is for Oliver William Peterson, who was born 2007. So that burial in general would be pretty recent. If you look past my shoulder, you can see again right over here, this is a pretty fresh burial that's been, it's not even covered with grass yet. So just from these indicators alone, I would say that we're on the modern end of the cemetery. I can now go and take a look at these headstones that I have over here and get a general idea of when these people were buried as an overall area. Of course, we'll have specific dates most likely for each headstone, but in general we can probably end up saying that this end of the cemetery right here has probably been in use from a certain date until most likely very, very recently. Another interesting thing about this particular part of the cemetery is that you'll notice it has rose bushes and it's kind of set off from the rest of the cemetery in general. That might be something that we might want to investigate a little bit further. Boundaries that we see within cemeteries. Why are some people segregated from other people? Another interesting thing about this end of the cemetery is that from here I can see that we have at least 3 headstones that have the name Broyles on it. What's interesting about that is that the road that I drove in on is also named Broyles. So evidently the family Broyles had something historic significance to this area, which is also something that we might want to consider when we do our background research. Okay, so I just took a few moments and I walked around this area here and I was looking at death dates. And the earliest death date that I can find in this area is 2012. So this part of the cemetery has been in use from 2012 until the recent present. Okay. So on my map, since I know where I'm standing, I'm just going to make a general note of this area, put a circle around it, because I can pretty much define this area, and write 2012 to present. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to continue to walk around the rest of the cemetery and just get general ideas of when people were buried here.